What I don't want while I'm tracking is I don't want people to think about it too much. I want to keep things moving. I want people to react to what they're feeling and not to react to what they're thinking. And again, it goes back to this philosophy of that's how people listen. You know, so if people listen in a reactive way, then we should make music in a reactive way.
Okay.
I think that that's why, you know, a lot of hip hop is so exciting, because of the way it's made. You know, somebody starts a beat and then somebody, you know, throws down a verse and then somebody comes up with a hook. It's a very dynamic thing and it's all captured in the studio and then it's done.
Yeah.
You know, which is the way rock used to be.
Right.
You know, where people would go in the studio and they would come up with a thing and then, you know, then it was done before it became very, you know, formalized. So it's trying to get that dynamic of just let's throw ideas out and then the best ones stick and then we move on. As soon as there's something good, then, you know, we don't have to try 14 versions of this one idea. We just, if it's working, then we move on. You know, we get it, we move on. We don't have to listen to it. We just did. You know, we listened to it while we were doing it and everybody was like, that was cool. You know, the worst thing is a musician will tell you like, oh, let me do that again. I can do that better.
Yeah.
Then they obsess over it.
Well, they might be able to
A million times.
do it more accurately, but
Yeah.
better is relative.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just working. You know, trusting your gut and trusting that moment. There's this lack of commitment.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Of course.
it's like let's decide later. It's like,
Yeah.
why? What do you exactly like?
'Cause we can.
What do you? What great thing do you think will happen
It's
later?
a procrastination thing, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, I think that if you commit, you know, I feel like people, you know, when you're recording and you're doing something and you commit, it's like everybody's, you know, people can't point fingers later. It's like, you know, you're moving forward and you want to move forward and you want to feel like you're creating something, like not committing to a sound is like you're putting off creating, and you're deep in the creative process. Like, why would you want to put off being creative? You know, just, man, that's cool. Let's go. You know, cool. Let's, you know, just move forward. It's not. I just never understood it. I never understood it the other way. It was just, you know what it was is the other way. I saw people do it the other way, and at the end of the day, when they did it and they finally made the decision, it wasn't any better. You know, and part of it is, and think about it this way. If you're in a project, and you know how the arc of a project goes, it's like everybody's super excited at the beginning, and then, you know, and then it becomes work. Then it's like you got to do a lot of things, and then by the end of it, when you're mixing, like, you just don't know what you're hearing anymore. Like at that point, you're like lost. So why would you put off to when you're super just burnt on a project, the decision that was fresh while you had like all the energy? Like, why would you leave? It's like being, you know, a football team and going like, you know, we're just going to score in the fourth quarter. Like, we'll put off scoring till the end of the game. You know, you're going to lose. You're not going to, like, you're not going to come out on top at that point. So just commit. You know, commit while something's fresh and the ideas are dynamic and people aren't at each other's throat. You know, by the end of the project, everybody's sick of each other. So at that point, it becomes very ego driven. Like, I want my idea, not your. You know? So just, it just, there's no reason to put it off.